Hi everyone. So tell me, how many of you have experienced moments where you've heard two voices going on inside of you? There is this one voice which is very positive, very reassuring, revalidating, and encouraging you to move forward. And on the other hand, there's this another voice which makes you feel like you're not good enough, you're not worthy. It creates a lot of doubt and anxiousness within you, thinking about all the worst case scenarios, and it discourages you and demotivates you. Have you experienced this? Then let me tell you that you're not alone in this. These contradictory thoughts that we all experience is what I call the inner tug of war that each one of us go through. And because these inner tug of wars are so draining and overwhelms us and makes us feel very stuck, we tend to not address it. We tend to run away from it, avoid it, reject it, because we feel like, these inner tug of wars are endless and it's not going to take us anywhere else, right? But remember, what you resist persists. The more we are going to run away from these inner tug of wars, the more it is going to continue to exist in our life. And so I'm going to help you with a very simple step by step process that you can follow right now to be able to overcome this inner tug of wars, so that we no longer run away from it, but we almost feel like these inner tug of wars are for us and it is here to help us. Maybe it is here to show some parts of us which requires healing, and for us to grow out of it, right? So I want you to grab your notebook and pen because we're going to do this right now. Okay, so in case if you don't have it, pause it, and once you have the notebook and pen ready with you, then you can again restart the video. Assuming that you have your notebook and pen, let's get started. So the first step that I would love for all of you to do is I want you to write down all those moments when you feel the inner tug of war is the highest, right? What are those specific moments, experiences, situations in your life where this inner tug of war, or as we can also call it as the inner critic, right? The critical voice, okay, becomes more and more louder. Okay. For example, does this become really loud when you need to take some decisions with regards to your career or your relationships or your health? Is it that whenever you are choosing to rest, this inner voice becomes louder and starts discouraging you, demotivating you? So, what are those specific situations where you face this inner tug of war the most? Okay, so please go ahead and identify at least five such situations where this inner tug of war has been the most intense for you. All right, so pause this video and write it down, and only after you're done, then move on to the next step. Okay. All right. Assuming you have done step one now, moving on to step two. Step two will be to meet your inner critic. Now, this part of you is someone who doesn't motivate you, who hurts you, who tells you things that makes you feel that you're not worthy, you're not good enough. But it is also important to understand that what exactly is this inner critic trying to tell me? What is this inner critic trying to show me, rather than looking at it as an enemy because it is saying those hurtful, painful things to us? Let's look at it as a friend. Maybe this part of us is trying to tell us what is it about us that needs to heal. What are some of those memories, some of those situations that we are still holding on to unknowingly or knowingly, because of which there is this inner critic that is becoming stronger and stronger within us. Okay, so the second question will be for you to journal on that what are the top 5 statements that my inner critic is telling me whenever I am in one of those situations, right? So in the first question, you identified that where all does this inner tug of war happen? And now in the second question, I want you to write down that what are those statements that your inner critic is trying to tell you. Okay. And as you are writing them, I want you to realize that when you write them, you're identifying them. And when you're identifying them and you're writing them, it's like you're acknowledging them. And the minute you acknowledge them, because all this while, when these voices were being heard, you probably, ran away from it. You probably rejected it. You avoided it. You didn't want to face it. But right now, we are choosing to face this inner critic. We are choosing to acknowledge our inner critic, right? So, all those statements, as you're writing down, I want you to imagine as though by writing them down, by acknowledging it, it is already losing its power. Step three is reclaiming your power. Now that you have met your inner critic, it's time that we shift the conversation, shift the statements. So when you hear your inner critic saying things like, you're not good enough, instead of reacting to it or instead of feeling bad about it, I want you to take a pause and then I want you to ask your inner critic, like, do this self talk with your inner critic in your mind that whatever it is that you're telling me, is this true or is this simply coming out of fear? Right? When you ask this question, it brings in that awareness and it automatically detaches you from those thoughts. Right? So, that is the first thing that I would love for you to do. Once you've done that, the next thing will be where you are having a conversation with your inner critic and you're telling your inner critic with a lot of love in your heart, okay? Because, like I said, inner critic is not your enemy, it is your friend. So, with a lot of love and gratitude in your heart, you tell to the inner critic that thank you, I hear you, I see you, but I choose to be kind to myself. I choose to allow myself to grow, expand in ways that I want to, and I let go of you. Whatever it is that created you, I choose to take back the power from that event, from that memory, because when you go into deep reflection, you will realize that these inner critic statements are coming from a past event or a past memory or childhood conditioning. Right? So when you say that, I let go of you because I choose to not believe in you anymore, I choose to release this and I choose to be kind to myself, then automatically these statements of your inner critic loses its power altogether. Yeah. So if needed, I would love for you to repeat these sentences multiple times until you really feel the release happening. And finally, I would love for you to change each of these statements into a more empowering statement because thoughts create your reality. And so now you're going to consciously create the right kind of thoughts which will help you to move forward. So, in case if your inner critic said you're not good enough, you can change that to I'm enough just the way I am. I believe in myself, and I know that whatever it is that I do not have it, I can work on it, I can learn it, and I can create it for myself, right? Another example of how you can change an inner critic statement into a more empowering statement could be, let's say, if the inner critic is saying that um, you are never going to change. Okay, so then how do you change this? You can say that I'm so proud of myself for the smallest change that I'm able to bring in. And I'm acknowledging this small effort that I'm making. And I'm celebrating my 1% progress because 1% is all that I need to be able to feel good about myself. And it is so easy to do this 1%. And I am in the process of growing and evolving every day, right? So, this is how you convert your statements into a more empowering statement. And now, once you have all the empowering statements, I want you to record it in your own voice and then close your eyes and visualize a loving version of you, a more caring version of you standing right in front of you. And when you're hearing these statements, imagine that that loving version of you is saying these statements to you. So, this is now becoming your inner voice. Isn't it magical? Yeah. So I want you to share with me in the comment section what are your new empowering statements and how did you feel after doing this exercise? I'm so proud of you already for watching this and for taking that first powerful step today where you chose to separate your identity from those inner critic thoughts. And I want you to remember that you are worthy, you are abundant, and you deserve all the happiness and all the success in this life because you are the abundant child of the abundant universe. Lots and lots of love.